Hello YouTube, Sidekick here. We're doing another video, part 2 of how to use the nav computer to do a precision low-level approach. Last time we did what we called the waypoint method, where we flew to a waypoint and then turned to a particular bearing. This time we're going to do what I call the target method. So we're going to take this aircraft here, this A4, and you'll see that it has waypoint 1 set as the actual target. So unlike part 1, where we flew to a waypoint and then had to find the target just using a bearing, because the nav computer only uses one waypoint, this time our waypoint is actually going to be at the target. And as a reminder, the direction of the runway is 40 degrees. So this time, instead, what we're going to want to do is, instead of flying directly to the target right away, to the waypoint right away, we're going to fly north. And then when we get to the point where the nav computer is telling us that it's about 40 degrees to course to get to the target, that's when we're going to turn. And so we're going to fly until we see the horizontal situation indicator saying that we need to fly a course of 40 degrees to get to the target. And then we're going to turn on it and we're going to fly directly to the target. So that's different than what we did last time, where we flew to a waypoint and then had to remember to fly 40 degrees. This time we have to remember to fly straight until we get an indication that we need to fly 40 degrees to the target. Okay, simple enough. Let's get in the game and see how it works. Okay, we're in the game in active pause. We're just getting the nav computer turned to D1, get the radar on in C mode, flip the horizontal situation indicator to nav computer. Now, you'll notice that it says that the waypoint is directly ahead of us because we come into the game pointed at our first waypoint. We're going to need to change that as soon as the game starts. Let me just get fenced in. Again, we're going to drop the same load of snake eyes down the runway, so get all that set up, and then we'll start the game. So the first thing we need to do is turn. We're going to turn until we're flying basically north. It don't have to be very precise about that, but it just seems like a good reference. So we'll fly north. Now when we look at the HSI, you can see that it's no longer pointed to the top of the dial. It's pointed to the right, and it points to the bearing that we would have to fly. It's around 30 degrees now. That's the bearing that we would have to fly to get to the target. We're going to wait until that is almost 40 degrees, and then we're going to turn so that when we align that with the top of the compass, we're going to be pointed at 40 degrees. So we just need to fly straight for a little while longer. Okay, we're getting close, and there we are, we're down to altitude, and we're just about there, so now it's time to turn. So now we're going to turn. We're going to keep an eye on the needle, and we want to stop when the needle's at the top of the compass, and hopefully it will also be over 40 degrees when we do that. And that will mean that we're flying towards the target, and we're doing it on our target bearing of 40 degrees. And now it's just a matter of letting the miles count down, somewhere around 6. You're going to straighten out a little bit there. Somewhere around 6 miles. We're going to do another short pop-up, find the runway, roll in, and as we did last time, we're going to deliver the bombs at around 500 feet. So, by the way, stick around after this run, because then I'm going to do another run where I don't use the nav computer and I don't come in low. Just to demonstrate to you why in a flak-infested zone like this airport, it may not seem like it's a problem when you do a nice low-level approach, but there really is a lot out there looking to get you if you don't fly this way. So let's go up. Not very high. Take a quick roll over. Pick up the runway. There it is. We're in pretty good shape, actually. Need to correct a little bit to the left. Just a touch. So this approach has worked pretty well. Now we just need to make sure we get back down, get below the level where those flak gunners can see us. There we go. Pull up at around 500 feet, and it's just a matter of waiting until we're over the runway. Here it comes. And pickle. Spreading joy throughout the land. All right, we're off. Stay low, keep jinking, stay away from the flak. So there you have it, 2 different ways of using the nav computer to do a precision low-level approach. A third option would be to actually fly to a waypoint and then input the target locations, and some viewers have mentioned that they like to do that. It can be done, and if somebody wants to see how to do that, just let me know in the comments, and I can maybe show you that as well. The basic point being that you need to ingress essentially blind, but you need to do it in a particular direction and arriving at a very precise point, and really the nav computer is the way to do that. Okay, that's enough of that. So as a little bit of fun, let's take a look at what would have happened if we hadn't flown that kind of precision low-level approach. So here we're approaching the same target again in about as untactical a way as I could imagine to do it. Target is down there to the left. We're actually going to pick up the runway. We're going to fly around to the landward side and drop the bombs flying the other way down the runway. The point here is just to give everybody down there lots of time to have a look at us and to decide what to do about it. And you will see that although in the last 2 pass-throughs where we saw no flak at all, it was because we did the precision low-level approach and really didn't give the flak gunners time to see us coming. I find in DCS that really seems to be the big determinant of how effective the flak is effectively how well they can see you and how long they get a chance. For instance, you don't want to be the final strike element into a target that has a lot of flak and that has been very busy. You will find the flak gunners much more deadly if you are the 6th or 7th or 8th plane into a target zone compared to if you're the first. So we're just slowly coming down, making it pretty obvious what we're going to do. So far, so good. Still not seeing any flak, but it doesn't mean they aren't getting us lined up. So we're just flying a nice, easy turnaround. Going to line up on the runway. Just out for a nice, lazy Sunday afternoon flight. Here we go around. Oh, there's a few people starting to notice. Getting a little bit of flak. Yeah, we're off the runway a little bit. Got to pull around. Yeah, we're getting a little bit busier now. Got to get lined up. Well, we can still make it. Oops. Or maybe we can't. All right. So that's what happens when you try to approach a target like that and let the flak know that you're coming. There really is a lot of flak around the target. It doesn't look like it when you fly a nice precision low-level approach, but it's certainly there. So for now, that's going to be Sidekick signing off.